King's here. Okay. What's happening? We're black. We're back. We're black and back. Yeah, I'm back. It's been a while. It's been so long. We're here. How's it going? So glad to be here tonight. I'm live on Twitch and on YouTube. We'll see how long I make it. It is going. It's going. I'm at my wit's end, man. I'm feeling this election season big time. It's one of the reasons I've been like not around, I think. It's not even burnout. I haven't even done anything. I'm kind of sick of the world. I'm kind of sick of like having to justify everything, and like I don't owe it to anybody. Right? We don't owe explanations to anybody. But there's a tremendous amount of pressure a lot of times to do so. And then when you do it, it's a shit show. And I see how people act online, and I understand it might not be real life, but there's this weird line you walk, right, when you want to like put this stuff aside and not mess with it and just say, hey, I'm leaving it. I think this is one of the problems I've had for a long time, is that on some level I don't think I can contribute to it anymore. Because I see nothing good coming from it. Like there's like this huge black pill. It feels like it's just being not even force fed. It feels like a suppository at this point. I guess you get far more joy out of playing games nowadays, and not so much the culture war is like, I'm not even thinking about it. I think a lot of people are going about it the wrong way. A lot of times what I see I can't even agree with. Even if I understand where people are coming from, on some level I feel like, nope, I can't get behind that. I don't want to get behind it. It's regressive. But, people can, again, it comes down to the fine line that one walks in that, in order to do this, you need hardline opinions on things that no one's really equipped for having the conversation in, and then they're adjudicated by people even dumber than that. And I think is that what the world has come to, essentially, is that it's all about contributing to this retarded rat race, and you either jump on that and succumb to it, and just sort of like fall into obscurity. It's also fake, not because things aren't happening, but because 9.9 out of 10 people are disingenuous for the pursuit of money. Some people are so cheap, they'll do it for attention, bad or good. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I see people pursuing fights online, and I'm like, For what, dude? You're not making 1 penny off of this. But the most depressing part is like I say that and then I'm like, it feels like I'm staring in the mirror. You know, and this isn't some pity party. Like these are like legit thoughts that I have constantly. It's one of the, you know, it's a reason that I'm quieter, you know, nowadays. It's the reason I'm, you know, I reserve some thoughts for Twitter. And even then, no. I saw this really cool thing on TikTok of all places, or maybe it was YouTube short. Either way, they essentially were talking about how like this, like what makes me so mad in 2024 is people's lack of ability in reading comprehension. Like basically, they sort of laid it out. Like people couldn't differentiate in sentence structure and words. People automatically default to this, like, well, I'm talking about, like, you know, a lot of kids have bad diets or whatever, and then one of the immediate responses was, my kid can't eat that, not all kids are like that. And like, well, this is the problem, is that they're not even looking at what I'm reading. They're reading what they want to read in order to respond and be reactionary about it. My favorite lately has been this Grums Scams guy. He clearly is a grifting fraud, and some of the biggest creators are licking his pee-pee. For real? Yeah. Like I've said it for a long time. Best advice I can give anyone ever is to disengage from all these people. They have nothing meaningful to, that's wrong. They have very little to offer that is meaningful for your life. And even myself, I don't know what I really bring to the table in cases like this, because, you know, my suggestion is always live your life outside of the internet, like almost all of it. And I know people say, oh yeah, but people come here, like you can really reach a lot of people. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. You know the fucked up thing is I think I've gotten far more joy out of like doing TikTok debates than anything ever. And then games, like I've been having a lot of fun playing Satisfactory. I've been having fun playing Diablo 4. But even that, like we are now in a place. We're now in a place where we can't even enjoy a fucking video game. I can't play 5 minutes of Diablo 4 without someone like having some comment about how Blizzard is woke and we shouldn't support this company. And here I am just like, I just want to eat a 9mm for breakfast because I can't even enjoy a fucking game anymore without the entire world crashing down. Oh my, I can't believe you would do that. I'm starting to not give a fuck. If my car mechanic is the biggest slut in town, I don't give a shit as long as he fixes my car. And I'm like care less and less about what people do in their private lives that may leak over a little bit. But like seriously, that's where we are this day and age. This day and age, you just need to be mad about it. And you need, like, you know, you just need to misrepresent everything. Misrepresent people's arguments, misrepresent who people are. Like the funniest shit. Here's some flip this, do whatever the fuck you want with it. The people right now who are essentially, there's all this talk, oh, Kamala, like she's so bad at her interviews, like release the uncut 60 minutes thing, like her interviews are a mess. And it's like, I can't handle these people because they're the same people who simp for a guy who just rambles at debates and says the most insane shit as his rallies. Like you'll have much better luck just leaning into the decent policies that Trump has. Don't sit there and say that Kamala's so bad at her fucking 60 minutes interview she doesn't say anything when your man can't do the same, can't do anything else. The answer isn't apathy. It's living in a morally consistent way without allowing how others live throw you off. Yeah, no, that's for sure, King. Fred on Twitch says, I'm just holding my breath for a few weeks, and if people keep being annoying, then I'll cash in a bit more on being upset. Yeah, it's just going to get worse as you approach the election, I think. I don't know if we've seen peak crazy at this point. I don't think we've seen peak crazy yet. It's nuts to think that it could possibly get even worse. Yeah. I'm hoping we get high tide ASAP though. Yeah, I would like that a lot. Oh man. Is there anything good on Twitter that I missed? I bookmarked a bunch of stuff and then didn't. I feel like I can't even bring myself to like rant about something because I just, again, I feel like like feeding a system that's just so broken, you know, like especially all this stuff. Like I had a whole bunch of bookmarks saved with this Paul Tassi going back and forth with Star Wars theory. And everyone's saying, "Oh, he's responsible for this community, like all these people." Like, I'm so sick of that side of things. Like, how do we get to a point? Is it just because one or two people have so much, like, quote unquote, influence? Like, Star Wars theory, in my opinion, is pretty chill dude. This guy unblocked me? Nope. Still blocked. Debate between Vance and Waltz was really nice. It reminded me of a time when we debated issues, not the person. Yeah. I didn't actually watch that one, but it would, like, the clips that I saw were much better. They were much better than the Harris Trump one. I knew that one would be better anyway. Like, Vance is far more diplomatic than Trump is. Like, he certainly is the voice of that team, and he played it well. And you know, again, like, and I'm just, they're all, I mean, Vance he's really well spoken. Like Kamala, Vance, Trump. All three of those guys are like, they're just kind of idiots. They're kind of bumbling, like, I don't know what to say, or I need to stick to the script. Ugh. I think here's what people need to understand. This country will be A-okay regardless of the outcome of the election. You might not like who's elected, but there's not one damn reason to go out and be a little crying bitch with whoever wins. It's just a reality. Life will go on. It will not go on how you wish it to go on for the next 4 years, maybe. But ultimately, it'll be okay. And the thing is and the saddest part is like, regardless of the outcome, people will just like hang it up and be like, oh fuck, I guess this is the situation. No. They'll totally forget about any local issues that they may or may not have. They'll totally abandon that. And they'll just think, oh, the only thing that matters is the president, and that's my vote. I'm not going to do anything else between now and 2028. You early voted yesterday. The tension in the room was wild. I bet. You know, and I hope my hope is that people get beyond these politics. There has to be, and there is a way through. You can't keep going on in life. You can't keep going on in life just hating political opposition, because nobody else lives their life like they do with politics. Like, only in politics are things so hard-lined. Everything else, you're just like, everyone knows how to come to a compromise on. They know how to talk things out. Not with politics. Nope. I'm conservative. I'm liberal. This is how I am. Hard line. Not doing anything else. Full stop. And that to me is like, it's fucking bananas. Yeah, well, yeah, hating things is definitely trendy now. But like, you're far more, you're able to have a, well, the problem is that they, like, the injection of political agenda from both the consumer and the developer is what has made things difficult now. And it's like, entertainment is just rife with it, right? Like the DEI crap. She's not a commie, dude. She's not, like, her dad taught like Marxism. She's not a communist. She might be a social democrat, but she's not a commie. I did see something funny about Deadpool and Wolverine. And the criticism was, everyone's all upset because you needed to watch, in order to enjoy these Disney shows, you needed to like have all of this, you need to have all this prior knowledge on everything. But Deadpool and Wolverine comes out and references 45 different movies, and we're supposed to fucking celebrate it. I was like, good point. All right. Yeah, I mean, that movie was pretty self-aware. It's just supposed to be fun. And it was. It's a fun movie. No reason to hate on it. At least in my opinion. Ow. Yeah, and I think the difference is like, nostalgia can be done in a really cool way that people like, and I think they hit the nail on the head, because it was just that. Everyone was like, this game is just gonna, like, it's gonna be a bunch of nostalgia and pulling, like, all these like multiverse people in and old people and blah blah blah, and like but I think they did it in a way, especially with Reynolds' comedy and Hughes' just action prowess. Whereas like other people try and do it as a means of storytelling, and that is a problem, right? Like when, oh, The Force Awakens. Hey, remember this, remember that, remember this, remember that. And it's just member berry after member berry. And you're like, oh, okay. Like they're using it as a way, as a vehicle to tell a story that's already been told. Her voting record was further left than any of the Dens combined. If she's not a commie, she's about to morph like Frieza, because that's not even her final form. I just don't like, okay, let me put it this way. I don't think Kamala's going to pull us into a communist like state. I think if she, and here's just what I think. If she's elected and she does all the things that she's supposed to do, she's going to ruin her chances with like 90% of America. Because what people don't understand about, you know, her whole spiel on like, oh, we need to invest on the middle class and we need to tax the hell out of the rich, and you know, and I'm not like, I think that the top 1% or top 0.01% should be fairly taxed. The question is, how do you gain those tax dollars? Because the people that she's going to affect are the middle class. You know, taxing unrealized capital gains is going to force people not to invest into small businesses. You know, and like ultimately this is going to hurt her, because people are going to see right away. They're going to see, oh, yeah, thank you for the extra money for having kids. But then when housing goes up yet again in price because of her $25,000 whatever, like it's going to hurt, and it's going to be out fast. Like her popularity is going to plummet. But, you know, and I think the other disingenuous side of the right is them, like, I think they would garner way more favor with centrist voters, or like, you know, this sort of middle ground voters, if he would acknowledge, if Trump would acknowledge the fact, or even Republicans would acknowledge the fact of how many like socialist systems we have in place in this country and how much it's helped. Like there are many programs in which our tax dollars go to fund things that people actually use and that are useful, but nobody really focuses on how important those are. And like, hey, we are a balanced system. We aren't a purely capitalist free market system. We do have these, you know, I'm not calling her a commie because it's emotional dog whistle to point out her lack of intelligence. I'm calling her that because the record shows she strong aligns with Marxist principles. Yeah, I'd have to take a closer look at her voting record, because maybe we could talk about it sometimes. That'd be cool. John D. Many of those systems might not be as needed if we actually helped people better their lives. Yeah, and again, what I want people to understand is like how, like, you need to acknowledge the system exists, like, and teach people about it, but also there's a important side of it, like you said, John, that of how to get out from under it, right? And there's also problems with getting into it when you're at a certain level of destitute, but they're still there to help, and people forget about it all the time. What they've done is built a population of victims, and they rushed it to save them with government systems, right? And I certainly won't dispute that, because you're right 100%. But people don't realize that, you know, I think a lot of Republican voters don't fully understand the amount of systems we have, but talking about how these systems are only supposed to be meant as a crutch to get you back and healthy again, you know, because a lot of us have used them. A lot of us have used them. Yep, fathers in the home, the value they bring to a family and children is undervalued. Oh, for sure. I mean, it's not even necessarily just fathers. It's like, you know, two parent home, right? Like encouraging the 2-parent home, and you know, the value of communication and not just sort of like abandoning your partner at the first sign of trouble. We talked about this a little bit the other day. It's super important, all of it. And that's why it's never one thing or the other. That's why these like debates sometimes like get just like they get lost under jargon. You know, it's like, no, there's a whole bunch of things working in tandem that people don't realize. And even tariffs. People don't understand tariffs well. You know, like, oh, well, like there's a TikTok of this guy just like, oh, under Trump, like all this stuff is going to be 20% more expensive, see? 60% more expensive, see? And it's like, you don't realize that, like, not like tariffs, that tax doesn't get passed on to the consumer all the time. There are many factors involved with tariffs. Sometimes the tax, the extra tax, does get passed on to the consumer. A lot of it's dependent on demand elasticity. Like, is this product in demand? Well, if it's easy to offload and easy to sell, the company oftentimes absorbs way more of that cost. Like just saying, you know, people just saying, oh, these tariffs, blah, 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 Trump's gonna, you know, destroy the economy this way. It's like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. But there's so many different things that Trump's energy plan is the Hail Mary. Without it, it wouldn't matter what he'd do. Yeah. Right now, with our border bleeding, with people going on the tax roll, that has to be the priority. Otherwise, our country will fail. But yeah, I'm really interested in the actual numbers of people coming over the border. There's so much. I hear opposite numbers. I hear, no, it's not millions of people, it's thousands, blah, blah, blah. Like, I hear California is like giving residence to undocumented immigrants. So like I would be very interested in getting the actual data and understanding like what is actually happening. Because I'll be honest. I like Charlie Kirk. I like a lot of the conservative pundits when they, you know, in their debate stage. I don't often believe them because they are just as sensationalist as a lot of people on the left. They're just there to sell hats and t-shirts and pins and whatever the fuck else, tickets to their show and advertising dollars. And that, you know, that, again, they're just as guilty a lot of times. So I take what they say with a grain of salt. And it, you know, I brought up Charlie Kirk, John, because you mentioned him, but they all do it. Social Security will be bled dry by the time they get it. So New York City just requested another 14,000 hotel rooms to house them at $325 a night. Wow. You know, I wish I can get a hotel room for that in New York City. That'd be nice. Like $500-600 a night. Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, no, that's still absurd. Holy shit. Like, I truly wish that a lot of this stuff was about getting people help. You know, like when I see price gouging from airlines, when I see price gouging from gas stations, I think none of this is about helping people. It's about how to fill your pockets with money. You know? And that's like, it's like so much that I see. This isn't about informing people on what's actually going on in entertainment. It's about making people mad so they keep watching videos, so they keep getting advertising dollars and keep getting super chats. And it's like, holy shit. I even saw a tweet the other day. Someone was saying like, oh, look, when I make positive videos, they don't do as well. Like I have to go back to making, you know, these people aren't serious. They don't want to see good content, positive content. And here's the thing that this is one of the things I wanted to respond to on that. I don't even remember who said it. I think it was Cassie Cage. I like Cassie. She does good videos. Well done. But what I want to say is don't stop doing positive content. Just do thorough positive, or like don't stop doing negative content. Just be thorough with your negative content, if you want to call it that. Like, and I think you can do both in the same video. Like one of the things that people don't do a lot of times is they'll sit and trash a show or an entire episode and then never offer anything or any answers in return. Well, there's your answer. Give us an explanation as to why something's bad. Give us examples of something that's good. So now we have an explanation as to why something isn't good, but it can now reference something that is really good. And because of that, I can go enjoy something that's good. Oh, and also I might be able to now link to something that you also made. Oh, the Acolyte was so bad because of X, Y, and Z. But, you know, in this episode of Andor, they did the same thing. See, look what they did. Awesome. Oh, so-and-so has a whole playlist on their thoughts on Andor. This is awesome. I can watch their positive content now. Boom. Boom. What up, Scott? What's going on, brother? Shouldn't Booty Juice be responsible to look at the price gouging for the airlines? Oh, absolutely. I want to see, and I know you're the change you wish to see in the world. You know, there's that. I want to see more critical content that offers positive alternatives. It 100% can be done. These guys could kill it. They could turn the algorithm around. Like they literally built the algorithm as it was, or as it is now. You could totally shift it in a different direction with a more positive spin. That's not impossible. Don't hate on the haters. I'm sorry. Heath Nation with the raid. The raid, brother. Thanks, Heath. I don't even know what my buttons are anymore. Dominic the writer, what's going on, man? What you write? What you writing? What you writing, B? What you writing? Let me see that. Hey, Bukaki Lord. What's up? That's your name. I know it's not what it is, but it is now. You write all sorts of things. You write anything good? Gonna raid over on Twitch, y'all, so make sure you follow me on Twitch too. Elon de Bleu. Elon just killed it with his Tesla robot presentation. I didn't even see it. I love Elon. That dude is like just all time cool. Seriously, Heath, thanks for the raid, dude. Appreciate you. What were we playing today? What was Heath playing? What's Heath doing? Hey, y'all on YouTube, hit the like button. If you're over on YouTube, hit the like button for me. Dead Space 2009, awesome game. Yo, the remake was fire though. The Dead Space remake was total fire. You were the first Light King. I'll take that applause now. Let's see what my sound effects are. Oh, there's that one. This one. Oh yeah, I like that one. That's a good one. Oh, I still have that one.
Monster kill.
That's a good one. I wanted to at least get through the original before playing the remake. They're both very, very similar. But Dead Space does everything you want the original to do. And it gives you like a little bit more. Doom Eternal for Windows free with Twitch Prime right now. Ooh. Doom Eternal, I haven't played that, but I've heard really good things. I might play Diablo 4 tonight. I've been playing my Spirit-born character, getting through the story. Yeah, the remake might be better than the original. They did what's her face's model dirty though. Her character model does not look good. Isaac's wife, her girlfriend. Doom Eternal's so good. Yeah, I've heard it. I mean, it's more in line. Like Doom, was it Doom 2019 or 2016 was really good. But like Doom Eternal took it to like the Unreal side of thing, like Unreal Tournament, like just quick movement, slaughtering everything. I don't know, man. I just get way more hyped on games now. I'll be 100% honest with y'all. I get way more hyped on games, get excited about games. I've been getting excited about movies and shit. Went and saw Joker 2. You know, like it's just, I'd rather look at something and like enjoy a piece of entertainment or a piece of art. You know? Yeah, I think, well, honestly, King, you know what? I'll disagree with you there. I think the atmosphere in the remake is far more ominous. I think if you know the jump scares, it's, you know, you're like, oh, here comes this. But I thought just by virtue of advancements in technology that, yeah, things were just way more ominous. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero looks fun. I don't have the money for it though. Yeah, I'm not into those games. There's a whole sect of people who loves that shit. I'm going to get the new COD for PS5. First COD in 10 years. I played the original PC. If they figure out what the hell is going on with the Game Pass shit, I'll play it. But I'm not paying $60 for it. I'll keep Game Pass for a couple more months and play Black Ops 6 for a bit, and then probably be done with COD for a long time. Yes, very visually appealing, the new DBZ for sure. But yeah, Heath, definitely play the remake. Maybe take like a 1 game break and then go to the remake again. I don't know. It's hard to jump right in and play that same damn story all over again, but it does deviate a little bit, but I don't know if it's enough to play back to back. I bought the Vault edition of Black Ops 6. That's why I don't have the money for Sparking Zero. Yeah, I just I've been so disappointed by by Call of Duty games, largely because they have no staying power. I've thought about just playing Warzone like casually, but even that is like the problem I find with Warzone is the weapons, right? Like there's a meta for weapons, and I honestly keep going back and forth on whether I should make a video on this, but games like Call of Duty and these metas ruined online games. Absolutely ruined them. Like I can't even play like a free-to-play game. I understand, like, oh, it's free to play, so you know we need you to, you know, do this. But like I don't have time to grind out all the stuff I need for that. And I don't want to keep playing multiplayer, because multiplayer is what happens when you take cancer and bring it to the Wuhan Institute of Virology and make it airborne and contagious and set it through the Ethernet, and then not only is it airborne and contagious, but you can get it through your eyes, the radiation off your screen. Like I just can't do it. Can't do it over and over again. And yeah, the multiplayer, I get so bored so fast. Like I'll play multiplayer for like a month as like, you know, as like my game. And and that's it. Like, so for me, the compromise to those games is something like Diablo, because it is multiplayer, but largely more single player focused, because then like I can do something in a group. The meta is somewhat established, but like for something like Diablo, I could play the expansion for 40 hours and get to the highest tier I possibly can and not have to push any further past that. You know, because I've already gotten my 50 hours out of an expansion. You know, tell us how you love single player games. I do love single player games. I almost consider Satisfactory a single player game because of, like, I mean, it isn't, like, it's definitely multiplayer, but like playing with Space Zombie has been a lot of fun. You know, just getting down and getting the factories going. Okay, boomer. Well, there's far less expectation with them. Like, multiplayer has, and really what the problem is multiplayer has turned into everything's a game as a service. So like the team has to put out something, but then keep building on that. So I think it's a strain on these dev teams to like put out something that's really, really good, where you could spend a lot of time on a single player game that put out something that's just phenomenal. And then it just sort of plays itself. And then you could put out expansions if you want, or additional content. Multiplayer aspect doesn't interfere with the individual experience with Satisfactory. Right, exactly. Yeah, and that's what I like to do with games nowadays is, and oftentimes games like that don't have a whole lot of like political crap in them, or like I generally don't have any interest in playing those games anyway that are doing it. Like some of the heavier RPGs nowadays, I'm just not into. Like if I go back and play an RPG now, it's going to be Skyrim. Like I will absolutely boot up Skyrim again and do a full playthrough of that. I would love to. I would love to. But like anything past that, I'm just like, eh. I even tried playing Witcher 3 a month ago, and I was just like, I don't give a shit. I don't care. This game, like, there's almost like too much to it. I couldn't get into it. I don't know why. There's a reason people really want Sekiro 2. Oh, for sure. We might get that. We might. Yeah, I do that a lot. Like my thing is with Skyrim, the best part about Skyrim is the game is fantastic without mods. You don't need mods for that game. You could play it 1,000 different ways. You know, I don't know. I really enjoyed that game. I probably put close to 300 hours into that game on console. Like I remember, I think the only thing I didn't max out was like the Mages Guild. But everything else, I went through like the full quest line before I finished the game. I remember fighting, what's his name? The final dragon. I forget his name. Alduin. It was like so easy because I was so overpowered. Yeah, the inventory system's a mess, but well, there you go, and there you have it. You could just do, but like you could just do light mods. So it's just vanilla with like Sky UI and SKSC, and then maybe like in the unofficial patch, right? So that like takes care of like all the weird shit in there. That's really all you need in something like Skyrim. You don't need like the survival aspect, fucking anime hair, all the other bullshit that you can add in the game. Oh, they have like full areas too, like that you can do. I'm just saying, Skyrim was like one of the last RPGs that was like out of the box, like literally amazing. Like, I mean, it's still It's still being sold for what, $50? Probably 60, maybe not that much now, but still, like, what would Skyrim be without the topless mods? I could just be a smartass, but let me see. What is your relationship with Jesus? Are you asking me? It's I I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that. I want to get better. I guess by a Christian standard, I need to get better. I don't like pray or anything. I'm still trying to figure it out. There's things I'm hung up on that I don't know if I could just put myself into it fully 100%. And I know that's annoying for people. But I'm not opposed to putting myself like out there for Jesus or God or whatever. But I don't right now. There's just I have so much that I don't know. Like when I was talking to Jacob the other day, Society Reviews. I was on his show. Something that I will always have trouble reconciling is like LGBTQ stuff, right? I have great friends who are gay. I have some friends who are trans. I just can't tolerate when people say when like the whole idea is if I hear someone say they're an abomination, they're sinful, and like they may be sinful, whatever, or they can't be saved because of that stuff like shakes me to my core. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about like real people. We're talking about people regardless of what you think about them. And I don't, I have trouble, and I don't know. And again, I don't know how to reconcile in my own head what it means for their forgiveness and like, oh, well, it's okay. But like, there'll come a time when they have to renounce that. I'm like, what? What? Oh, look, Society is here. What the fuck just happened? Dude. Yeah, no, and I was actually planning on picking up a Bible and maybe just picking up the New Testament and just reading it as a casual observer of the faith. Yeah, and that could be the case, John. It totally is likely the case, and that's where like I think a lot of it, and this is where people I think are led astray with things. It is really hard to fully critique something without like reading into it and understanding it yourself. So like I can't really sit here and say, oh, I know exactly what I would do or like I know all about it. I don't know. Like I can't critique something I'm not fully aware of. Like Jacob and I had a great conversation, but he still is far more well versed in it all than I am. And that's good. But in order for me to like really understand, I need to put in the work of We are all sinners and no one is beyond being saved. Salvation is by faith in Jesus. No one is banned from believing. True. Well, but and I don't want this to turn into that conversation, but since we're on the topic, the question is, so if someone who is LGBT believes in Jesus as has faith in Jesus, that's enough? Like, end of story? So where does the whole sinful thing come in, right? Like, so again, it seems like in ways conflicting. I don't know anything about this, but again, it just certainly seems like it, Eric. Yeah, the interpretation of a single word is crucial, especially in the context like this. Synoptic Gospel, Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Yeah, the Gospels. Yeah. Is that New Testament stuff? Because that's where I was going to start. New Testament. That's what's been recommended to me by a couple people. So why isn't that something that's explicitly said? Why are so what? So are people's critique of the LGBTQ like it? I mean, they're just holding two thoughts in their head. Then, like, so because so often from like conservatives will say Christians that like these people, like, you know, they're deviants, they're sinful, like they should, you know, they're not going to be saved, they need to turn away from it. Like I feel like I hear that a lot. So that's not that's man's doing. That's not right. Look into Dante, not saying I agree, but interesting explanation and nuance for this. Different delineations of Christianity and different interpretation. If a person has genius faith, Jesus, and believe the gospel, the Holy Spirit will guide them between right and wrong. To repent is to acknowledge one's sin. The issue comes when people are baptized, go through the process of acknowledging Christ as Lord, and then they stay sinning to the max. Christians are self-righteous. They think they are better than other sinners, and not understand that they are still sinners themselves. Yeah, and this is what I mean is like I would probably very much benefit from actually reading everything, quite honestly. Just so I can see like what I believe everything that people are saying. It's just it's overwhelming. It's very much overwhelming because like, bro, for real, I just want people to be happy at the end of the day. I just want people to be yeah, end of story. I want people to be happy and love their neighbors, love themselves. Do you believe you have a soul? Yeah. You know, and it's funny because I wonder, I always think like, what does that mean? You know, I can't, and maybe this is just the higher functioning mammal's brain working, but I'd hate to think that everything that we do in life is suddenly for nothing. You know, I know that sounds wild, maybe, but I mean, maybe not to this crowd, but I think that I think there's something. I would even be partial to something. I don't know. I've always been partial to we are like truly born again. Open mindedness is key. That's why I Oh, oh, right. No, I agree, Red. As I get older, God has brought me greater peace in my life. Yeah, I can see that, Scott. If you believe and you're wrong, nothing happens. If you don't, and you're wrong, right? Yeah, I just need to do some reading. I want to. There's one thing, if there's one thing I'm guilty of, it's like wanting to know more and more and more constantly, but much to my detriment because I oftentimes start things and don't finish them. Yeah, and I think it'll always be that way, John D. I think no matter what you do, you're just gonna have like people, because there's always the people on the extremes pushing it back the other way, right? And that I think is why, and especially on the internet, I think the internet has done zero favors to people in their public opinions because they're like, oh, there you go, fuck you. What's up, Rocky? Kids rebel, they do. Well, and then again, the internet has kind of kept people in this sort of, I think, adolescent mental state over the past 10 years. You get the idea of like, oh, you can just have whatever you want. You know, I want this right now. I need all this knowledge right now. Now. And because of it too, you just can't communicate effectively on here. Oh no, exactly. But again, the extreme atheists, like I think that contributes to getting that pushed all the way back the other way too. You know, I mean, all of it. Not much, Rocky. Just talking it up, chatting it up here. Might play some Diablo in a little bit. Diablo 4's expansion's been pretty good. New class is fun. I gotta up the difficulty, I think. I watch actual TV and I laugh how white men have been removed from almost all commercials, like they don't exist anymore. Yeah. You know what? Here's something interesting to that, John, to that point. I almost don't care. I almost don't care. Yeah, I don't know. I almost don't care because I don't even want to watch TV. I don't even want to watch it. And I feel like if I don't know that's even happened, like maybe that's the ignorant way out, but moral of the story is don't get your Christian theology from Melanie. She's still lost on the gospel, let alone the grace of God. No, I agree. I agree, man. I'm glad you're here. You guys should follow Society Reviews. Go over to his channel. Give him a follow. He does a lot of cool Bible study stuff and does reviews movies, talks TV shows and entertainment and stuff. I haven't played 4. I've been looking for games to scratch the Diablo itch hard these days. Diablo 4 has done a lot of changing since it released. It is awesome now. But if you're not going to invest in that, I would recommend Last Epoch maybe on Steam. It's a ARPG on there. But if you can catch Diablo 4 on sale, I would say I think it's worth it, man. I think it's worth it. Good thing I'm black. Yeah, we need to represent you, King. We was Kangs and shit. You know what show I've been watching is Prison Break. Oh, bro. Prison Break. It's funny. So I've been watching Prison Break. And the first season, I think the first 3 seasons are pretty solid. 4 was a stinker. 5 was, I think, a very big stinker as well. It's like season 1 was them escaping the prison. Season 2 was like on the run in like from prison. Season 3, they get locked up again in like Panama. And then I think season 4, it was like amid the writer's strike. So I think it was like they were working for the company or something at this, like somehow I think they got on the same team as them. And then season 5, I think Michael went to prison like overseas somewhere. Yeah, Zombie, you're always hung up on that. I'm gonna push back and just say that the item sets in the game are still badass. There really isn't any reason to spend money on Diablo unless you like the way I think of Diablo and spending money is you can get through most of that battle pass, and you do actually get a free cosmetic set. And then if you get through it and you want to spend the extra $20 you feel it's like worth it, then just buy it. But like I would never buy it at the beginning. I would like run through the whole thing, and then if I felt like, hey, I got my money's worth, boom, $20 done. Do you know your African ancestry? Oh, I'm certainly not. I'm no Kang. I'm no Kang. I mean, I got a nice like dark complexion during the summer months, but oh, you're talking about King. What's up, Devastator? Good to see you, man. Yeah, it was good. But what's funny is I'm watching this show progress, right? So back to Prison Break. I'm watching this show progress, and like the beginning is really good. There's a couple of parts where I'm like, that's mighty convenient. Like towards the end, like there's a couple of things that happen. I'm like, wait, what? Like seriously, if the show had come out today, we would all we're like, what? Like all of a sudden that guy's not good. Like what? Oh my god! Like someone's pulling the strings on him. How they make money, bro. I don't see. I have zero issue, and this I'll be honest. I have zero issue with cash shops for cosmetics because someone's designing those costumes and they're selling them now because and it's totally voluntary. Nothing. It doesn't change how the game is played, is it? I mean, I guess you could make the claim that it is kind of sleazy or whatever, but you paid for the game. The game plays well. And if you want to spend more on something that looks pretty and is shiny that someone worked really hard on, cool, do it. Yeah, they're not selling anything that accelerates gameplay or like helps you skip the line. You really just need to ask yourself, am I a racist? Yeah. Waste a lot of money on cosmetics. Yeah, I do sometimes too. It's cool to get the cool thing, you know. I mean, it's fun to get the cool looking thing. You know, we're all victims of it. If you don't do it online, you do it in real life. There's no two ways about it. Passes should be purely cosmetic, in my opinion, as long as that criteria is met. I don't care. Well, and the thing with so the thing with the Diablo pass is you get XP bumps, like the coal things that you can put different areas. Those are all unlockable on a free tier. So you can essentially get everybody can earn that thing. And I'm 100% for being able to buy one battle pass, and then the credits you accrue through that should largely, if not all the way, pay for the next season's pass. Because that shows that you're dedicated to the game and that you're putting time into it, and you'll likely spend money elsewhere anyway. I just bought a 65-inch LG OLED to watch sports in my garage. Damn, dude. Damn. I just remember playing games to earn the cosmetics to show off to other players that I earned the cool looking things, but nowadays it just shows off who's willing to swipe their credit cards. Yeah. I mean, yes. But a lot of games still do that. And Diablo has sets that are and items in general that are just super rare, and the only way you can get them now is like they have a raid. You know, there's a raid in Diablo. Certain gear will only drop in that raid, in that wing of the raid. Similar to like WoW, like, and there's different tiers. Like you might be able to get that gear, but it might be raid finder gear and not like actual raid gear where like you go in, you're coordinating with your friends. So I just bought I just bought a dual monitor mount to put my old 27-inch monitors above my 49-inch ultra wide. Damn you with that ultra wide. You do have a problem. That is bad. See, that's one of the things I mean. So over on Twitch, Space Zombie had said, I just remember paying to earn cosmetics to show off the other players that I earned the cool looking things. But nowadays, people just swipe their credit card. And the grievance is totally valid, right? I validate you. These are, but what I'll say is my criticism here is that let's just enjoy the game. Let's not worry about the cosmetics, because cosmetics don't change the game. The game's fun. The game's cool. The classes are cool. The activities are good. Seasons, they all have ups and downs, right? But overall, the gameplay loop is there. They brought a lot of cool stuff back from previous games, and they've listened to community feedback and modified the game in different ways. But this is what kind of one of the things I was talking about earlier, when I want people to just let's enjoy games more rather than like, oh, a game comes out, oh, well, now we got to critique everything we don't like about it and then hate it. It's like, well, it's fun though. Northern Lights was burning bright red here for about 45 minutes. Very minor glow now. Nice. Oh man, Halo 3, dude. Someone brought up Halo. I'm not talking about the new Halo Studios thing. Halo's been dead for like 5 years for me. Honestly, I haven't given Halo a second thought in a long time. And I don't know if anyone truly has, quite honestly. Like, has anyone really given Halo a second thought? Especially after the show. Like, the show was like, I think everyone was like, oh, cool. And then like quickly that novelty wore off real fucking fast. And that's sad, you know, and like, you know, the rumors that Space Zombie was saying last night that or yesterday at some point, that rumors are that they're going to redo CE in Unreal 5. And I'm just like, that's not what people want, you know? Like, I don't know if that's what people want. And like, it's nearly impossible to catch lightning in a bottle, right? Like the point is like CE was lightning in a bottle. You're not going to recreate that. You're not going to recreate the buzz and the love for that. Like it happened to be like one of the greatest things, a generational thing, and now they're like, oh, we got to go back to that. Like, no, you're not listening to people. You're not listening to what they're saying. Just like all these morons on Twitter, right? Who like oh, the Acolyte was so good. Like their criticism of Black Woman as a lead is unfounded. I'm like, that's not what we're complaining about. The Acolyte could have been really good, but instead they didn't listen to what their audience wants. And like proof of this, right? Proof of this is something like the Dead Space remake. It's not necessarily something that people wanted, but like the developers of that understood what people loved about the original and then made the remake. Done. You know, and I understand like franchises go through reboots, remakes, and blah 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 blah. But I do have to say that I feel like the reboots we got early in my life were acceptable in comparison with, not all of them, but a lot of them were acceptable in comparison to the original. And now it's just like, like, you truly don't know how to write a good story. I'm not saying I'm a pro. I'm not saying I'm a pro, but oh my God, how out of touch could you possibly be? You see that there's like a TikTok, YouTube short going around. It's like, it says, Disney, we need to cast, we need a new, we need to cast someone for the new live action Cinderella. And then it's like a picture of this giant black wrestler like lifting weights in the hallways. It's Disney. I'm like, oh, it's so true, man. We need a Disney princess. Just get the biggest, strongest black man you can, and we're good. I want a new gen LTTP with updated arts. What's LTTP? You have to tell me what I don't know what LTTP is. Oh, linked fast. Oh yeah, yeah, that'd be cool. We are. I know we're getting a new like. I know we're getting like a new top down style like was it Link Awakenings? Getting an art style like that. But you know, again, like A Link to the Past is another one that you might be able to pull it off with that one. You might be able to. But you know, it's great because of when it came out, how it came out, you know. I don't know if it would work the same way. So it's so strange to think like, and you know, some things I feel like should be left to lie. Like here's a TV show, like the show 6 Feet Under. I hope they never ever remake that show, ever, ever. This is perfect. Um, there is one movie coming out that I'm very interested in seeing, but I think it's so I saw the movie Ballerina, which is an offshoot of the John Wick world, and Anna de Arma is the lead. But not only that, but Keanu is going to be in that movie, so they are directly linking them in the world. It's not just like, oh, this happens to be somewhere. Uh, I hope it's cool. But I don't love when they do that either. When they do all the like, oh, this is in the world of the like, why? You know, do it's something else. Booby booby fart fart. I met a step. Met a step must be done playing Destiny 2 for the day. Let's see. Let me check my friends list. Nope, he's in orbit. He's in orbit still. um, it's all headed towards a multiverse. Yeah. One, two, three, four people on my friends list are playing Sparking Zero right now. Yeah. I will say though, the new Thunderbolts trailer looks cool. The new Thunderbolts trailer looks cool. I thought it looked cool. When I went to see Joker 2, there was let's see what the trailers were. Captain America Brave New World. Even that was like they did a good job editing that trailer. Ballerina. Nosferatu looks fucking fire, bro. Nosferatu is going to be so good. I've yet oh yeah, Gladiator 2. Gladiator 2 was there. Here, you want me to be honest about Gladiator 2? I'm gonna be honest about that trailer. The second trailer, made it look a little better. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But we still get the whole movie. Here's what I'll tell you about Joker 2. Don't spend money to see it in the theaters. There's no reason to. Just wait for it to come out on streaming. And then you can make up your mind. You might like it. Another trailer for Wicked. Wicked doesn't interest me at all. It doesn't look good. The new Venom trailer was, I think, well edited, but I don't really care about it. And I think Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock is fucking weird. Like, it's weird. I don't like how he acts. Gladiator 2, again, it's an unnecessary sequel, but this second trailer looked a little bit better, like marginally better. Like, I'm not gonna like sell my kids to get a ticket to be first in line or anything, but and then another movie, Companion. Companion is like, I kind of want to watch it. Should we just watch the trailers? Just get hit for everything? You guys want to do that? Just do it right here. I heard it summed up as it's not a movie about the Joker, it's a movie about Arthur Fleck. Yeah. Essentially it's just, yeah, they basically, I hate how some of these commentators like talk about this. The movie is through and through, both movies are through and through a character study. The problem is they did it through the lens of a character that people know and really like. But it's not about that character. It's about a different character. And again, that's okay, but they shouldn't have named it Joker. They just should have named it Arthur. And there should have been some like hints that were in Gotham, or even like little things that were like might hint that we're in this like sort of like really shitty place. Because I think they really could have had something if they had done it that way. They'd done like a 2-movie character study on this guy that was like trying to be this evil clown dude. We could have made assumptions about it, and then at the end maybe gotten the actual villain from Matt Reeves' Batman. But instead, we got this drivel, which was just rife with BS. Null being in Venom 3 is intriguing, but with the current state of the Marvel movie, yeah, and honestly, Null is something new. I know they're not going to do it properly because the comic books did it really fucking well, I thought, but it's not going to even come close to it. Venom to me has always been just like oh, look what we can do with special effects, and here's Tom Hardy, he's handsome, and Venom is badass because he just eats people. There was never really much of any substance to the movies, unfortunately. I want to show you this trailer for Companion. It looks so good. Oh, Jack Quaid. Jack Quaid is in it. And I like Jack Quaid. He's cool. Let me hold on. Move this over here. Yeah, you know what I mean? You see what I mean? That was much better, I thought. I'm still not like, oh my god, I gotta go see it, but it certainly makes more sense. Let's go so this is a new like thriller horror movie called Companion. This was before Joker 2, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So
my love must be a kind of blind love.
I'm totally getting hit for this, but I don't care. Bro, imagine this on the big screen with all that like vibrating sound.
I know it's gonna sound cheesy, but the moment we locked eyes.
Hold on. This right here, awesome imagery, by the way. This is such a well-framed shot. Red lips, blue eyes, pale skin, sort of blue in the background to bring the foreground and the background together, and the red. This is beautiful cinematography, by the way. This is beautiful. Awesome. And just the maniacal, like, I mean, downward angle on her.
Locked eyes. There was just a spark.
I don't know what is so intriguing about this. I really don't. I don't know what is so intriguing about this, but I thought this looks cool. Like just something totally different. Girl boss. Oh, come on now. I hope you're joking. But like it like to me it seems like it's like two people in some weird like sexual like it's like a what is it? Like sadomasochist like sex relationship, you know, where it's like they get off on all this pain. And I thought, whoa, this is cool. Like I was pretty impressed with that trailer. Yeah, the Wicked one. Not great. Yeah, so the Gladiator trailer, just I feel like we should have everyone here for the Gladiator discussion. Maybe we'll do that like this weekend or something. We should do like a Gladiator 2 roundtable. Yeah, I haven't seen Hereditary actually. I need to see it. No, for real. We could do comparisons to the to them both. I kind of want to, we should just. I'm not gonna. I wanted to look at the Brave New World trailer. Wasn't good by any. I don't think was really. It was good. It was. I think it was well edited. Is what it was. I don't care about the franchise anymore, but it was interesting to see what they're trying to do. You see one shot of Red Hulk's foot. That's it. This is the new Nosferatu trailer that you guys should just check out, because if there's movies you should be planning to see, this is one of them. This is definitely one of them.
Once upon a time. Professor.
He stalked me in my dreams.
This creature
Robert Eggers.
has chained itself to your wife.
Impossible.
Its sole impulse is to consume all life on Earth. He is coming. Only you.
His imagery is so like Eggers' imagery is so like you could just pick it out of the lineup like that. Like it's so obvious. Like where is it? Where's the shot? Like this is so obviously him, and even the close up, like the tones and everything, sort of like muted tones of his movie, and it fits like almost everything he does.
Only you can redeem us.
He's coming.
Who's coming?
Lighting is so key. I don't think people realize like how important lighting is in everything between like photography and film, but like film especially. Someone who is really good at cinematography, but also lighting, like lighting crews. Oh man, if you have a great lighting crew, you're golden. You needed a bite. Yeah, especially in horror movies. Like horror movies, what makes horror movies really good is their ability to use lighting effectively and framing. So you almost always can tell, like you building the foreboding of like close angle shots where you can't see outside of it, and it makes it as if the character cannot either. So both of you are locked in this like cell and that you can't escape from. And then, and then that quick, like, oh yeah, it's right there, like where they barely turn. There's actually a kid I follow on TikTok who is fantastic at this. Let's see if I can find one of his.
We asked the internet for their favorite nicknames and they didn't disappoint. A friend of mine works in a big bank. There was a guy there named Wayne Bruce. They used to call him Man Bat.
That's funny.
My mate used to work with a fella called Keith. He has an eye missing. They all called him Keth.
Wow.
I used to be a cop. One of the other cops was really small. They called him Laptop as he was a small PC.
I've seen that one. That's a piss take.
It is a piss take.
Laptop.
Yeah. There's a guy at work with one leg shorter than the other. The lads call him a sniper's nightmare.
Because man's always walking a moving target.
I love these guys.
Sniper's nightmare.
This thing, the visualization of this thing is jokes.
That's actually not why I went here. I want to find this other camera movement as well. Dark Knight is a great example of good camera movement. Yep, definitely. It's gonna take me a minute to find this kid.
Do you see how that's incredible?
If you wonder why I haven't
Okay.
I do like.
Forget his name.
The 10 Tsunami.
This is
Oh my god.
I don't remember what it was. Anyways. Yeah, music is another really good one and maybe underappreciated area that makes movies really good. Music, but I don't mean music. Score. Original score. Another topic we should discuss amongst our friends. Does watching streamers play games remove observers from the gameplay experience, or is it dependent on the game? Ooh, interesting. Does watching streamers play games remove? Yeah, that's an interesting question, because I think not always for me. I enjoy watching other people play because it does give me ideas for like builds if that's what it is required, or style or whatever, or just general entertainment. Yeah, that's it. That would be a good conversation. I agree. I wish I could remember that kid's name that does these horror vignettes. They're so good. If I watch you play Silent Hill 2 as opposed to playing it myself, does that disqualify for me having an opinion on the game experience? I think to some degree. And actually, this is actually a really, really good topic to talk about, King, because I think, and that's one of the reasons I don't particularly care for Twitter as much, because you'll have people who are standing essentially for these broadcasters or commentators who probably did play the game, as if they played the game themselves. And it is one of my main concerns is like, oh, so you are calling a game trash when all you've done is watch someone else play it, but never actually like experienced the mechanics of it. So I do know that some people, you know, they think they can operate that way. And maybe you can to some degree, but yeah, I don't know. That's a good thing. I know that Ark will have a lot to say on this. And it was one of the things I was in some small respect defending Farah Dark about this, because, you know, her thing was like, oh, people should be, you know, they should be required to, journalists should be required to live stream this game or have proof that they've played this game all the way through before they do a review on it. And you know, I was like, well, you know, she's not far off. There is a big discussion to be had around this, because sometimes games don't really truly open up until the end game. Sometimes they don't open up till halfway, and you don't understand like how all these mechanics work together. So I do think it's a conversation worth having. Absolutely. He'll definitely have a lot to say about it, no doubt. I think, guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play some Diablo over on my Twitch account. I'm live over on Twitch right now. If you guys want to follow me over there, twitch.tv/TheShagsworth. I'm not gonna play games on this channel, but if you guys want to go over there, and at least, maybe you don't have to stay. You can just give me a follow there and then come back another time if you want. But come on over. I'm gonna play some Diablo on there, and then we are definitely gonna talk about Gladiator 2 second trailer that came out this weekend. We'll do a whole roundtable on it, and then we'll put it out there for people to listen to, either on a recording or maybe we'll just do it live, because I think it's definitely worth talking about. We had a great off-air conversation last time. But yeah, if you're not following the channel, if you're not subscribed already, make sure you subscribe here. We do live conversations. We try to do it every week. Next week we're talking with Zia Anderson about her life, and then we have Mr. Grant Gregory coming up. Short Fat Otaku, eventually. I am talking with him about an interview in the future, so make sure you guys hit the subscribe button if you're not already. Consider becoming a member. We are also working on a Minecraft server in the background that we are going to build and open it up to subs and paid members between Twitch and YouTube. And you can have a different Minecraft experience. It'll be a lot of fun. I like playing it. It's while I want to play. Scott, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for all your knowledge and of the gospel and that stuff. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you guys for enjoying. I'm just going to end the stream here on YouTube, and we'll still be going live over on Twitch. So thank you guys. We'll see you guys next time.